As we wind down the final chapter of this course, I wanted to give you a little place or understanding of where this came from. These are some of the final thoughts through memes. This came from doing a presentation for Copenhagen Business School for a packed auditorium where I wanted to really show people how to go about getting a job. And that was 5 years plus ago. And yeah, after 800 slides and potentially hundreds of hours and all the things that I put into this, I hope you got a lot out of it. And without further ado, I just wanted to run you through some of the big thoughts that were true then, that absolutely are true now, and leave you with a few ideas metaphorically and some wisdom. So, when you are approaching your job search, really figure out exactly what you want in terms of targeting the industry. Maybe you're into a specific field and you're interested in starting to look into potentially working with a startup. Maybe you want something in a more established company. Maybe you're really into the agency as a model. I wouldn't recommend it, but hey, there's something there. Figuring out whether it's a small, medium, or large company and the location that you want to work in is what it's really all about. Setting reasonable expectations, especially for those that are entering the job market. It's really important. Your first job probably going to suck no matter what. If it doesn't, then hey, you hit the lottery and congrats. You will always feel underpaid, especially when you're delivering against tight deadlines. You feel like you're working harder than those around you. And yeah, it's just part of the game. I have had so many different types of bad bosses throughout my career, and it's part of what spurred me into entrepreneurship was working with dicks. So your first boss, especially if you're getting into a entry level environment, is going to be challenging, and that's part of the game. Half of this stuff is really luck when it boils down to what it is. Building your network starts at square one. It means connecting with people you know, connecting with impressive people, connecting with people that are working at the companies that you would like to work with and you would like to be a part of. Sometimes getting a mentor can put you significantly further along than those that don't have one. Asking somebody to be a mentor these days is kind of a hit or miss opportunity, and some people don't even try, and I think it's worthy of asking somebody, hey, you have a really impressive career track. Can I buy you a coffee or virtual coffee or even a beer and just help me understand how did you get to where you are? How can I improve my skills? What are you working on to get better on a fairly regular basis? What makes you tick? And at the end of that, do you know anyone that's willing to potentially give somebody like me a shot? Sometimes people see themselves in others and are willing to help out. I'm certainly one of those people. I've mentioned this numerous times, and I still think it's the right angle. Gimmicky and clever stuff will always help you stand out in a great way, and it does work. Connecting with people using unique angles, using these personalized moments or memes, and showing that you're genuinely interested in the company and documenting your attempts as you go is a huge boost, not only to the way that you're probably doing a lot of outreach right now, but it does land you in front of the right people and get you into conversations. I have said this a bunch of times. Please don't spend all your time on the job search related to job boards. If I was using job boards the way that I think most job seekers are, I never would have gotten my second, third, fourth, 10th job. It's just not possible to use job boards in a modern era with any real success unless you are a top like one percenter. It's so hard to get a job that way. I genuinely believe you are a number on a spreadsheet. And if you are actually putting an equal amount of time into job boards as it results in getting jobs, it should be less than 20%. Handling the no's, we've been over this. I think fuck the no's. Every no should get you closer to a yes, and that should be your mentality. They didn't say no to you as a person, and they honestly didn't have enough information in order to say yes, and that's all that it comes down to. Every no should mean that if you can gamify it, go for it. And that would mean, at least to me when I was doing it, three new applications for every no that I get. Every email that starts with, unfortunately, we regret to inform you, and so on and so forth. You can connect with lots more companies that are willing to give you a shot rather than trying to spend time begging somebody to look at you again. It is what it is. The job search is a full time gig. Let's not get it twisted. You will be tempted to revert back and do it the old, manual, slowest possible route. Do not default back to job boards and the fingers crossed manual bullshit. Focus on some of the activities, some of the different ways that I've highlighted on how to go about getting in front of interesting decision makers that may be interested in giving you a shot. Setting a schedule is super important. Trying to set rigid times that you're consistently doing these things and these activities that are outside of job boards is super, super important. Take interviews for jobs that you don't want. That is always going to be something that allows you to get better, gets you into more practice situations, and prepares you for the real job that you actually get to sit up and talk to somebody that is interested in hiring you for the job that you absolutely want. Give yourself options, and ultimately, the world is your oyster. You just need enough opportunities in order to make it happen. You only need one job, right? So you're not applying for all of these jobs in order to win all of these opportunities so that you can have 50 jobs or 100 jobs. We're literally looking for one. The biggest reason that people stay unemployed is deteriorated self worth because, for whatever reason, they've extrapolated this mentality that there is no opportunity there for them. You just need one. Sometimes you get it, sometimes you don't. You just have to keep trying. One day, all of this will be a distant memory, far, far from now, meaning you are able to look back at unemployment and laugh. And welcome to the club. It gets harder, then easier, then harder again. You will look back on this and you will be like, wow, what a crazy cycle that was. Things happen over a long period of time, and I promise you will look back fondly or in a humorous way. Be humble. Take opportunities as they are. I've never met an entry level manager. So, for those that are coming out of business school and think that they're stepping in to manage a team of 8 people right out of the gates, I think that's going to be tough sledding, quite a hill to climb. Most people, at least in my experience, that were in the startup scene worked for a good portion of their 20s for free or nearly free. That encapsulates me to a nutshell. I spent a very large portion of my 20s working for either solopreneurs or failed entrepreneurs, believing that there was an opportunity to learn and therefore get better skills and then go execute on things. This is your hero origin story. And as Grandpa Ryan used to say all the time, the opportunity of a lifetime comes around all the time. This goes back to being super butthurt and upset after going to check out a pickup truck. I was 17 years old. I had saved up money for 3 years of mowing lawns and doing all kinds of crazy odd jobs to purchase my first truck. And I was all about this Green Ranger, I believe it was a 1997 pickup truck. This was supposed to be my truck, and we went out to meet the guy, and this thing was leaking oil and radiator fluid, and I wanted to buy the thing on the spot. And my dad would not have any of it. My grandpa basically at one point turned around and said, the opportunity of a lifetime comes around all the time. There will be many other trucks, many other opportunities, and just because you don't get the one that you envisioned yourself getting doesn't mean that the game's over and you'll never end up being a part of anything that's significant. That's just not the case. Your degree is not your worth, meaning whatever you've done in the past in terms of your education has less and less to do with what you'll be doing in the future. If you are driven, if you are competent, and you play well with others, that's mostly what you need in order to get ahead. Grit is a bigger predictor of success than wherever it is that you went to school. Now, if you do have something in the way of that pedigree that I've referred to throughout this course, then fantastic. Good on you. I don't have that. Didn't go to Stanford, Harvard, Yale, or any of the other fancy bougie schools. I've included a link to this great TED talk about what really predicts one's success, not only professionally, but in life. And grit is one of the bigger predictors. This is a people and timing game. Now, I alluded to it not only in one of the first slides, but I'll say it again. HR, managers, CEOs, they're just people. People are flawed, they're forgetful, they make bad decisions, they make bad hires based off of preconceived notions about what they thought somebody needed in order to do the role. And sometimes that's you, and sometimes it's not. It is absolutely always on you to follow up, even if somebody says, I will definitely get back to you on Monday, and Monday comes and goes, and here we are on Wednesday and you still haven't heard anything, it is on you to continue to ping people. A lot of success comes down to good timing, and you can't always solve for that, but you can give yourself the best possible chance by continuing to get in front of people. I think it's super important to take chances. Take chances on yourself, take chances on interesting opportunities that may be nothing but could be everything. You are the youngest that you will ever be when you are watching this at this moment. That is without a doubt the truth. You are very likely to make a lot of mistakes professionally and personally, but if you make no decisions and you don't grasp for something bigger than yourself, then you are guaranteed to have a a not great time. This is the whole idea of taking chances. Now, I included an interesting clip of Bill Burr. It has not really aged well, to be totally honest. It gets a little dark, but I've linked to that one here, and I think it genuinely spoke a lot to me and my fear of ending up in kind of a situation where I was cornered. And I don't feel that way professionally or personally, but I think that was always in the back of my mind. And now is the time that you can really try and make some interesting things. This goes to being a content creator, building things, but also reaching for opportunities that maybe you're not a perfect fit for, but you could really see yourself mixing things up, learning a lot, and making some really big impact within an organization. That's it for the course. If you stuck around to the very end, kudos. I really appreciate that. Connect with me and mention that you took the course, or follow me and continue to like and engage stuff that I put out on the old internets. But I really hope this was something that you got some value out of. I've spent a crazy amount of time just so we're all on the same page. This has been multiple months in the making. Let me know if this actually brought you value. Please let me know if you got a job out of this. It gives me a little pep in my step to know that somebody got something out of this. And thank you again for taking the time, and I'll see you in the Discord.